There are so many incredible animals on the planet that it's just truly hard to keep up with them all. In fact, the number of species that scientists think are left to be discovered is around 8.7 million, give or take a million. There are so many mysterious animals out there and so many different species that it would blow your mind. From a walking fish to a jellyfish that lives forever. Check out these 10 most mysterious animals. Axolotl. The axolotl is widely known as the Mexican walking fish. It is only found in Mexico, but it is not an actual fish, it's an amphibian, more specifically a salamander. What makes this creature so unusual is that it's a neotenic salamander. Neoteny is the delaying or slowing of the maturation process, like arrested development. So a neotenic salamander is one that never reaches adulthood. In general, amphibians develop lungs and legs and then move from water to land. The axolotl, however, retains its larval stage characteristics, which means it never develops beyond keeping its gills and it remains an aquatic creature. Incredibly, an axolotl can grow back its lost limbs up to 5 times before regeneration stops. It can also regenerate organs such as lungs, heart, spinal cord, and even parts of its brain if it suffers injury. Another fun fact about the axolotl is that it is 1,000 times more resistant to cancer than mammals. For this reason, scientists are studying the axolotl with the hopes that we can apply its natural resistance to eliminate cancer in humans. Pangolin. The pangolin is an animal that resembles an anteater covered in scales. Pangolins have small heads, long snouts, and a very long tongue for slurping up ants and termites. It's estimated that a pangolin eats about 20,000 ants per day. The scales are made up of keratin, like human fingernails, and they account for 20% of the animal's total body weight. These unique animals have the ability to curl themselves up in a tight ball at the first sign of danger. And those strong scales protect them, morphing them into what is essentially a hard-shelled ball. Pangolins come from Asia and Africa, and sadly they are the most heavily trafficked animal in the world for 2 reasons. First, their meat is considered a delicacy, and second, some believe that pangolin scales have medicinal qualities. Another defense mechanism for these strange creatures is the noxious smell they emit, similar to the spray of a skunk. Pangolins also use their pungent stench to mark their territory. Anthrophora squamulosa. Anthrophora squamulosa is a very long name for a very little bee. This specific colony of bee makes its home in what you think would be the opposite kind of environment that's good for a bee. Bees like pollen from flowers, blooms, and a variety of plants. Well, the Anthrophora squamulosa nests in volcanic ash, where there is seemingly none of that. The Anthrophora squamulosa colony consists of about 2,000 bees that live on the lip of an active volcano in Nicaragua, and they endure heat and acidic gases emitted by the volcano. The environment is so toxic that scientists dubbed it the kill zone. The female bees dig holes into the volcanic dust to lay their eggs. Then they look for pollen and nectar to feed the larvae. The bees find their nectar almost exclusively in a unique, hardy species of wildflower that somehow adapted to survive in volcanic acid rain called Melanthera nivea. Scientists conclude that the Anthrophora squamulosa are proof that bees are more resilient than previously thought, and that conservation efforts must continue to protect this valuable insect. Mud skipper. Mud skippers are fish that might actually drown if they're in water for too long. How is that possible? Breathing is a matter of survival for these unique fish. Mud skippers are like other fish in that they breathe underwater with their gills. However, they also absorb oxygen through their skin, their mouths, and their throats. Because of this, they need to leave the water. Once on land, they are able to skim over the land, usually mud, by using their pectoral fins to propel themselves forward by jumping or skipping, hence their name. Mud skippers move very well on land, considering they're actually fish. Mud skippers are generally found in tropical habitats in Africa, Asia, Australia, and the Samoan Islands. Some mud skipper species are kept as pets in home aquariums, and they make good pets as they can be curious about what's happening around them. They recognize people approaching with food and may even eat right out of a person's hand. While keeping some branches in the aquarium is good for pet mud skippers, the pet owners must be careful that the branch doesn't reach too high, enabling the mud skipper to skip right out of the aquarium. Bowhead whale. The bowhead whale is a magnificent giant creature, considered to be the largest whale species in the world, and among the largest mammals. A bowhead whale measures between 50 and 60 feet long on average. They weigh about 100 tons or over 200,000 pounds. They eat plankton and shrimp-like animals as much as their entire body weight's worth in a year. And despite their enormous size, bowheads are able to breach completely above the water's surface. The bowhead whale gets its name from the shape of its high, arched jawline, which resembles a bow. Their bow-shaped heads make up 1/3 of the whale's total body length and come in handy for when the whales want to break through the thick sea ice above them. But what's most remarkable about these special creatures is that they live longer than any other mammal on Earth, about 200 years. Scientists hope to study and identify the whale's genetic mechanisms and efficient immune systems which contribute to its long life. The knowledge may be used in the future to improve human health and lifespan. Zencarella. Researchers are on a quest to find the Zencarella, an elusive scaly-tailed squirrel that has never yet been seen alive. It's also known as the Cameroon scaly-tail, classified as a rodent and endemic to West Africa. 3 recently dead Zencarellas have been found, and their bodies are helping scientists to study how this creature has evolved and survived over the past 50 million years. It's one of the only 5 species that still exist from ancient lineages dating back that far. From studying ancient fossils and the newly dead Zencarella specimens that were found in West Africa, scientists have discovered that although the Zencarella has evolved over time, the changes in its physicality are minimal. They call it an amazing story of survival. Nelson's small-eared shrew. The Nelson small-eared shrew got its name from the man who first discovered it. In 1894, Edward Nelson found 12 of these little creatures at an elevation of 5,000 feet on a volcano in Mexico. The specimens were studied and then they were sent to the National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C. And that was the last time the shrew has been seen alive for over 100 years. Naturally, it was assumed the Nelson small-eared shrew was extinct, especially considering the volcano where they lived had erupted in the late 18th century, destroying all vegetation. But when 2 mammalogists from Mexico decided to look for it, that changed. The researchers found 3 shrews scurrying around a patch of small forest trees. They are tiny, measuring less than 4 inches from nose to tail, with brown fur, which is darker than its relatives in the shrew species. The surviving Nelson shrews are still so scarce that they are now considered critically endangered. New Guinea singing dog. The New Guinea singing dog, or Highland dog, is a rare breed. Native to the New Guinea highlands, the singing dog is known for its unique vocalization. Howls vary in pitch and are combined with a series of yelps and whines. Their high-pitched howls are sometimes performed in chorus with other singing dogs, and they can carry on for several minutes at a time, creating a dog chorus of sorts. The singing dogs look like pet dogs with their golden red or black and tan coats, but they're actually quite fierce predators who hunt their prey, like birds and squirrels. It's reported that there are about 300 New Guinea singing dogs left in the world, at least those that are accounted for in zoos, private facilities, and in private homes. And it was thought that those were the only species left, and they were believed to be extinct in the wild. But researchers have recently confirmed that there is a healthy population existing in their native habitat in New Guinea, and protective measures are being initiated to help save the breed. Borneo pygmy elephant. The smallest Asian elephants are the Borneo pygmy elephants, with baby faces, oversized ears, round bellies, and tails so long that they drag on the ground while the elephants walk. They're gentle and sweet-natured elephants. The World Wildlife Fund determined that these elephants were genetically different from other Asian elephant species. DNA evidence showed that they were isolated from other elephants on the Asia mainland about 300,000 years ago. But a recent study reports that these elephants were brought to Borneo centuries ago by the Sultan of Sulu, now in the Philippines, and were abandoned in the jungle. While originally thought to have originated in Borneo, it is now believed they originated in nearby Java and were likely rendered extinct in Java centuries ago. It had been common practice to move elephants and ship them from place to place, usually as gifts between rulers. So it is believed that the elephants were separated from their cousins at that time. The surviving Borneo jungle elephants may be the last vestiges of the subspecies of elephants that had gone extinct on its native Java island. Immortal jellyfish. The Benjamin Button of the seas is silently invading the world's oceans. The immortal jellyfish can unbelievably transform itself from an adult back into a baby. The immortal jellyfish was discovered in the Mediterranean Sea in the late 19th century. Its strange ability to turn back time, however, was not identified until the 1990s. The jellyfish is tiny, only about the size of a human pinky nail. When starvation, physical damage, or other crises arise for the jellyfish, instead of dying, the jellyfish transforms into a younger state. It changes its cells into a blob-like cyst, which then develop into a polyp colony. The polyp colony is essentially the first stage in jellyfish life. According to Italian scientists, by studying exactly how the immortal jellyfish's cells can transform themselves back in time, they may be able to find clues for the fight against one of the human health's greatest threats: cancer. We hope you enjoyed the video. Which one of these animals did you find the most mysterious? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you liked the video, then please click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when a new video arrives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.